right. Setting intentions. So inviting God into your process, making sure that, so I put let me just read this here. I put a little like small prayer, um, and just to have it. So God, be present in every idea, every word, every design. Let the process bring you glory. That is so important to me. Let the process bring you glory, because we could really be getting into some stuff and the process could be heavy. Another testimony, transparency for you. I recorded, I believe this is the third time I have recorded this video. The first time it was with the Canon, the fancy camera, and it shut off in the middle. And I was like, and I was like, okay. So then that's why I was like, all right, I don't have time to like mess with this right now. I know I put a deadline on myself, because this has been a long time in the making. And I was like, I'm getting this out here. And so that was that time. The second time, I kid you not, I recorded the whole thing on app that I use all the time. I mean, I've been using this app for like 3 years. I've never had this happen to me. Recorded the whole entire module. And then I got a ding on the computer that said that there was an issue and that if I continued, it would cancel. And so I was like, okay. So I told it not to continue then, thinking it was going to at least get the part of the video that I did, and that I would just have to do an ending and it would be no big deal. Oh, it was all gone. It was all gone. Here we go. This is this is where we are. Let the process bring you glory. Let it bring you glory, even when I'm like, what's happening? But this is the thing, right? This is Philippians 3:12-14. We press on, we keep going, we just forget what's behind. Don't overthink it, don't let it bother you, and just keep moving forward. So this is me moving forward and showing you that I go through it too. Don't get discouraged if you record something or do something and you forgot to hit the record button, or it didn't process correctly. That's okay, because you can do it again. It'll be fine. All right. That kind of was random, but it was meant to be at this moment. Going back to setting intentions. So, yes, inviting God into your process, into the process. Let's ask. So, ask yourself, have I paused to pray before I start? This really does help me. There's times where I'm like, I know I have some really heavy projects I got to get done. And so I will just ask the Lord, hey, there's been times where I've been creating and things kept messing up. And I'd have to stop and be like, okay, I need your help. I need your help right now. And I'll tell the Holy Spirit, like, come on, help me like get through this quickly, creative, like with lots of creative ideas. Like, help me get through this. And sure enough, it will. The Holy Spirit will help me and I will get through the project. And another question to ask is, have I asked the Lord to align my heart with his will? This one is so important. And this is one that I have to remind myself constantly, because I love people, and God has had to teach me multiple times to not believe words, but to believe actions, because I'm so just, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. And then I'm like, where are they? They said we were going to do this. And they were, what? And don't get me wrong, I've probably have done that too. And this is why in Jeremiah, right? Like, we are not to put power into people, because we're supposed to be relying on God. And this is so good too, even for me right now. We have to remember that, let's say if somebody has an idea and it's exciting and excites you, but they don't go through like the execution of it with you, that's okay. It might still just be something that you might end up doing later, or whatever. Like, don't so what I'm saying is, like, don't let the disappointment of people disappoint you and stop you from what you're doing. Does that make sense? Because I mean, this is even happened to me in the past where me and a friend were like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then I waited on them, right? Because I'm waiting on them because they said we were going to do this together. And then they didn't do it. That happened actually with a podcast with me. I had a friend of mine that we were going to do a podcast together. We started, creating documents, all this stuff. And we just didn't do it. Like they didn't show up. And I, so the podcast was, for us to do a podcast was like years ago. And then last year, when the podcast idea came back up in my head, I thought, I'm just going to do this solo. I feel called to do it. And so I did a totally different topic, of course, and then just went for it. So, and what I'm saying is like, I waited years to do one because I was waiting on other people when I needed to not wait on anybody and just do it. That is there for you too. The downloadable intentions setting sheet. Let me go over that with you real quick. So the intention setting sheet, just a few things that's on here. The calling, what do I sense God has called me to build in this season? And so these are kind of questions that you can, or answers you can write down and then come back and reflect. What gifts, skills, or experiences has he equipped me with? So again, this is kind of going over like the inventory, just really just getting these into you so that you see the gifts and the talents and the inventory that you have. Purpose in service. So how can what I create help serve or build others? Again, it reflects that other question. And then which of God's people am I building this for? You see how this all goes together.